Yeah, let's go to WAFCON. Senegal, South Africa. There's a history with penalties. But let's go and have a look as to this penalty that was awarded for South Africa. Was it correctly given or not? We can see there were two decisions here. There was offside and penalty. So for offside, we'll draw the line for you to understand whether there was offside or not. As you can see there, a referee is raising her hand to show offside. So now, listening to VAR, via check out was there offside, but KHUMALO Soccer Zone, we can tell you that there was no offside. Right now that there's no offside, we move to the second phase. Who has the ball there? No one has the ball. Anyone can play that ball. No one has control. The ball is within playing distance. Anyone has a right to challenge that ball. Let's see when they challenge for the ball. Who kick who? In this situation, who kick who? This one is making a tackle, so everyone is kicking whatever that is available there. So now, if they kick each other like that, then it's a fair challenge, and then play should be allowed to continue. Unfortunately, the referee awarded a penalty, which VR came back and said, everyone just made a tackle. They collided with a tackle.
Infringement of a player without playing the ball is deemed a foul, is it not?
You see, the one is kicking, and the other one is kicking, so they collide. So when they collide, no one has control of the ball. So who do you protect? You can't protect anyone. So Lana, correct this in by VAR to take out that penalty. As if the penalty is all South Africa over. Guess I told her against Senegal, but replay. As if right. As move again to the next one. Here we're talking of offside. Royal AM and Cityless. There was an offside here. Was it correctly given or not? As we're saying here in terms of the law, offside is judged at the moment the ball is played by one of your teammates. A player who is nearer to the opponent's goal line than both the ball and second last opponent will be regarded as offside. But let's go and have a look. I want us to look when the ball is played as to when we draw the line there. When the ball is played, you can see that there's no one who's in an offside position from Royal AM. Now, when the ball is played and the player receives the ball in an offside position, or that looks like in an offside position right there, the player looks offside, but at the moment the ball was played, this player was not here. The player was 1 meter onside. So therefore, incorrect decision by the assistant referee to flag for offside, Asisa Sekangalis. Let's go to the next one. The next one, we're going back to Morocco, where there's AFCON. Our very own Akona Makalima. Did she represent us very well in the AFCON? Let's go and have a look, because she awarded the penalty. Was her decision correct or not? We can see Saudi there from Morocco there being tripped inside the penalty area. What does the law say? Tripping inside the penalty area by Kotek. It's a direct free kick offense. If it happens inside the penalty area, a penalty will be given. Look at the tripping there. That's a trip. So penalty, no yellow card. So here, correct decision by our very own Akona to award a penalty for tripping an opponent inside the penalty area without giving a yellow card. Let's go to the next one. Here we see another handball. We see again Akona Makalima on very hot in the kitchen there. A player put his hand above the shoulders. That's Akona Makalima, our very own. We are right. As one look at it there. A player putting his hands there, he's taking a risk by making his body unnatural bigger. So if the ball makes contact with the hand in that position, a penalty will be awarded. So correct decision by Akona to award the penalty.
Oh, representing us well. They always love it when we do that. And it means it's going to be great when she comes back into the PSL season. Let's take a quick break. When we come back on the other side, the Moomish. And of course, the result. Talk me through what you've got there. That's the formation, W.
So we really want to put up a typical scenario that Banyana need to be able to deliver against Nigeria for us to be successful. Firstly, it's going to be important for the midfield trio to be compact and to be much more closer to one another. The Magaya needs to come a little bit on the inside. Yeah. And Doggies, we need to allow Karabo Dlamini, the breadwinner, to come on the inside.
Yeah, but if that's the case, now if we're going to face a Nigeria that always plays the ball within the pockets, we can't have Magama also bombing up. So we can't have the left and the right going forward, because we're going to be left with only two. So if Dlamini is the one that's going, Magama cannot go up. So we're going to find ourselves wanting, because Nigeria, remember, they're very quick. They take 3 touches in order for them to reach the final third of the opponent. So if the left-hand side is going, we need the balance on the right-hand side and vice versa.
So in this case, it therefore means that the rest defense has to be very, very important. But again, as we mentioned earlier, the central pairing there, the central pairing there has to be very, very effective in this match, because in the last match, we didn't control the midfield against Senegal, and that's why we ended up in the penalty. So I agree with him, Doki's rest defense must be perfect, and of course, the midfield control must be there.
We have to do something that we have done before. In the last tournament, we were able to do it. But historically, it's not looking bad. Look at that. We've played Nigeria 23 times. They've beat us 15 times. We've only won 4 times, drawn 4 times. Dogi, you know very well that a history like this can be overcome, because you're only as good as the last game. The last game, Sbashai.
The last game, Sbashai, but also again, you know, you're as good as your last game. When I watched Nigeria against Zambia, well, they were very, 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 very good in terms of going forward. But again, the game before that, they found themselves wanting, because they changed the lineup and all that. Enye into futhi omele uyazi, hayi ukuthi bangena la bacama ukuthi kuzoba i-walkover nge-South Africa. They know very well what they're up against, and they need to bring their A game, as much as we also have to bring our A game, because clearly the country that wins this, I would like to believe, is the one that's going to lift it.
Yo. Let's go to a lot of new players donning different colors to what we're used to them, and some making they bury transfers into the big leagues. W, talk to me about this one, TD. It's Sydney Maleva as well as Mampuru who joined Sekhukhune United alongside all the players that we've already spoken about here.
Good business for Sekhukhune. If you check Wanda Boy Makubu has done well for Magezi, was their top goal scorer, and of course the big signing of goalkeeper Tostan Sabata, who's the Zambian #1. So very, very good signing for Sekhukhune.
Well, we've already touched on what SuperSport / Siwelele, because obviously it hasn't formally changed from a PSL point of view, but Hlungwani Madogi touching on him a little bit later on. So let's move on to the last page of the new transfers as of this week. And we go to Orbit College. They've begun to sign as they should.
Look, the Msongo boys have done some good business. They're the team that has a particular DNA, and of course they have a high intensity. So Tuso Mureleki and Yanga Madiba coming from Orlando Pirates will be very, very important, you know, for Orbit College going into this season.
So 3 players on loan from Orlando Pirates, and Madiba Mleleki, and of course Saling that we'd already spoken about last week. Yaya says they must beat them and progress to the final and take that trophy home. No DNA, just RSA. Speaking there about Banyana's game against Nigeria. Let's take a quick break.